When the Curtain Falls, a sad story of Andrew Walker in General Hospital. The bright lights of the General Hospital set no longer shimmered with the same warmth they once had. The buzz of excitement, the laughter between takes, and the gentle camaraderie of a close-knit cast all had grown quieter in the wake of devastating news. Andrew Walker, a Hallmark heartthrob who had recently crossed into the world of soap operas, had become the soul of Port Charles. But now, grief loomed like a storm cloud over every scene. It started with a whisper, as these things often do. Andrew had joined General Hospital just a year earlier, portraying Dr. Nathaniel Grant, a brilliant trauma surgeon with a mysterious past and a heart of gold. His character quickly became a fan favorite, compassionate with patients, conflicted in love, and haunted by a tragedy only hinted at in early scripts. Off-screen, Andrew was equally beloved. The cast often joked he brought Hallmark hugs to the soap world. But behind his calm demeanor, something darker brewed. In the fall of that year, fans noticed something different about Andrew's performance. His once vibrant smile seemed forced. His scenes were shorter. There were days when he wasn't on set at all. At first, the official line from ABC was scheduling conflicts, but those closest to him knew the truth. Andrew had been quietly battling a rare and aggressive autoimmune condition. He had kept it hidden for as long as he could, wanting the world to remember him not as a patient, but as a performer. But the pain was growing unbearable, and so were the treatments. He was losing weight. His eyes, those famously warm blue eyes, looked tired. Still, he showed up. Always. Until one day, he didn't. That day on set was eerily still. The crew waited. His co-star, Rebecca Herbst, who played his on-screen love interest, paced the makeup trailer nervously. Director Ken stood by the monitors, phone in hand, eyes scanning the door every few seconds. When the call came, it was quiet, a soft, trembling voice. Andrew had been found unconscious in his apartment. His body had given out. He was gone. The news hit the cast like a sledgehammer. Maurice Bernard, a veteran of the show, reportedly broke down in tears. He was one of the good ones, he whispered to a nearby crew member. Rebecca collapsed into a chair, sobbing uncontrollably. The set fell silent, save for the muffled cries and the stunned gasps of disbelief. ABC made the official announcement the following morning. It is with heavy hearts that we confirm the passing of Andrew Walker, beloved actor and cherished friend. He brought light and depth to every scene, and his absence leaves a void that cannot be filled. Social media erupted with grief. Fans, unaware of his illness, were shocked. The hashtags #RememberAndrew and #GHForever trended for days. Tributes poured in, not just from the General Hospital family, but from his Hallmark co-stars, fellow actors, and thousands of fans who had watched him for years. Andrew always made time, wrote Lacey Chabert, his longtime friend and frequent co-star. For a laugh, for a hug, for a word of encouragement. I will miss him for the rest of my life. The show decided to honor Andrew with a special memorial episode. For the first time in its decades-long history, General Hospital broke the fourth wall. Cast members appeared not as their characters, but as themselves. The episode opened with a dimly lit studio, a single spotlight illuminating an empty director's chair with Andrew written. His co-stars sat in the chair, shared stories, memories, laughter through tears. Rebecca recalled how Andrew used to bring coffee for the entire cast during early morning shoots. Maurice shared how Andrew, despite his illness, would check in on everyone else's well-being before mentioning his own pain. I remember once, said Finola Hughes, he finished a 10-hour shoot, pale as a ghost, and still stayed behind to run lines with a newcomer. That was who he was. The final scene of the memorial episode faded into a montage of Andrew's best moments. His first arrival at General Hospital, his final operating room monologue, his teary-eyed confession of love. It ended with his smiling face, looking directly into the camera, saying, "Life is fragile, but love is everything." Outside the studio, a small memorial formed. Fans left flowers, candles, framed photos of Andrew, and handwritten letters thanking him for his work, his light, and his kindness. His wife, Cassandra, who had always supported him quietly from the shadows, visited the set one last time. She walked through the halls he loved, touched the props he'd used, and stood in the exact spot where he had delivered his last line. She held a bouquet of his favorite wildflowers, whispered, "You were always more than a role," and placed them on the director's chair. In the weeks that followed, the show slowly resumed. A new character was introduced, a young doctor, fresh from med school, inspired by the legacy of Dr. Nathaniel Grant. But the cast knew they weren't replacing Andrew. No one could. Behind the scenes, a scholarship was established in his name, the Andrew Walker Foundation for Young Performers in Crisis. It aimed to support struggling actors battling chronic illness, those, like Andrew, who smiled through suffering to pursue their dreams. Months passed, but grief remained. Rebecca kept a photo of Andrew in her dressing room. Morris wore a bracelet with Andrew's initials engraved. Every year, on the anniversary of his passing, the cast gathered in silence, holding hands near the director's chair that remained untouched, a sacred reminder of the soul they had lost. Andrew Walker had been many things: actor, husband, friend, light in the darkness. In the world of General Hospital, he had been a healer. In real life, he was the heart of the set. And though the curtain had fallen on his final scene, his legacy lived on, in every tear, every memory, and every heartbeat of the hospital he called home.